Okay, so yesterday I made a video and I was basically saying nobody is coming to save you and people always playing the victim. I deleted the video because as a teacher, when I come with a message, I don't never want to come with a message when I'm in my feelings about something because that's not good. When you delivering a message and you a teacher, you got to come from a place of clarity and you can't be in your feelings because that resonates in the message. And that's not what it's about. It's about me delivering a message to you, but not me coming on here from hearing something or something and then me coming and giving y'all some information, but me being in my feelings about it. And I was in my feelings about it. That's why I deleted the message. Was I right with what the things I was saying? Yes, I was right about the things I was saying, but it's also the delivery. It's also the delivery because I'm not I'm an emotional person when it come down to the thing. I wouldn't say emotional, I say passionate. I'm a passionate person, but passion is an emotion. So yeah, I'm an emotional person about something. So I hear some things and it just be like, no, okay, let me go clarify this. But when I come clarify, I want to be talking to y'all just like I'm talking to y'all right now, where I had time to sit on it. So I had time to sit on it. But from making the video, somebody left a comment and it was very interesting what the lady said. She was basically saying, okay, well, Jesus ain't coming for the people that's playing victim, the adults that's playing victim. What about the kids? So the kids is not victims. So what about the kids? See, the kids is victims because you got to understand these kids is getting abused by the parents. The kids getting abused by the parents, so the parents have to heal and have to do the shadow work to change that. See, it's all about your bloodline and it's all about the generational curses. So who is actually cursing these kids? It's the parents that's cursing these kids. So what happens is you get these toxic, abusive, dysfunctional parents. They abuse the hell out of their kids. Their kids had kids, and then they abuse the hell out of their kids. And it's just a cycle that repeat. It just repeat. It just repeat. So God don't have to come back in the physical form. God just send healers here, generational curse breakers here, because the way that the lady was basically saying, how do we save the kids? How do we save the kids? The kids go get saved by breaking that generational curse. Somebody in that bloodline gonna have to break that generational curse of toxicity, of abuse, of dysfunction, of all of those things. Of all of those things. Like me, I'm a generational curse breaker. I'm a generational curse breaker. So how is go save the kids? Because when I break the generational curse, the generations that come after me is not going to have to go through those things because that curse is broken. So they're not going to have to go through poverty. They're not going to have to go through abuse. They're not going to have to go through those things. That's the whole point of breaking the generational curse. Once you break the generational curse, you saving the generations that's coming after you. So the kids is getting saved, but the person in that bloodline go have to save them. This is all about you and the curses on your bloodline. And somebody in that bloodline go have to stand up and put an end to whatever that curse is. Whatever that curse is. Because what you got to understand is the curse only exists because everybody in your bloodline followed that same pattern. So if one person was a toxic father, then he passed that down to his son. He a toxic father. The cycle just kept going on and on and on. And nobody stood up and took a stance and say, not on my watch. Not on my watch. This is not about to continue. This abuse ain't about to continue. This dysfunction ain't about to continue. This toxicity ain't about to continue. And I'm about to put an end to this. I'm about to put an end to this. So it's going to be one person in your bloodline that's going to have to stand up and put an end to that generational curse. That's how you save the kids, because you saving the generations to come after you. Now, if you don't do that, you just passing on that same curse, and your bloodline could be cursed for lifetimes, because ain't nobody stepping up saying, I will not tolerate this abuse. I will not tolerate this dysfunction. You abuse me, but I'm not going to abuse my kids. That's how it works, man. That's how the kids get saved. It's all about your bloodline and what's going on in your bloodline, because your bloodline is cursed. And nobody in your bloodline could stop that curse. Everybody in your bloodline kept that curse going. So it's up to one person in that bloodline to stand up and say, this is not going to happen no more. I'm not allowing this to happen no more. And once you stand up and you break that generational curse, you saving all the generations that come after you in your bloodline, because they know they will not have to experience that. I took on poverty and I took on all this abuse, but I had to take one for the team. I had to take one for the bloodline, because now the kids coming after me, they kids, they gonna have a chance to come into this thing. And I'm going to bring them into this world, and they going to be coming to this world into abundance. Not poverty. They coming into abundance, to blessings, to things like that. But somebody going to have to step up and break that generational curse. That's why I keep telling y'all, ain't nobody coming back to save y'all, because it ain't about Jesus coming back to save y'all. It's about God sending a person in, a healer, a generational curse breaker, to actually break those curses, to save those future generations. So you want to save the kids, break that generational curse that's in your bloodline. That's how you save the kids. But if you don't break that generational curse, then, hey, you just continue. You go continue the pattern, and it can go on and go on however long your bloodline go allow it to go on, until somebody steps up and say, hey, I'm breaking this. And that's basically what it is.